What up, Bucks fans? We are back. It is Monday, and that means it's a real Bucks Talk live stream. I'm Michael Plus, joined as always my good co-host Mark Ramirez. Mark, I wish we were starting this podcast on a better note or a higher note, but sad news today with the passing of Vincent Jackson. Just talk about him and what you remember of Vincent Jackson.
Yeah, extremely sad. 38 years old. I mean, that's not much older than you and I. So not the happiest way to start, but I still remember to the day when we signed him, right? Like the first signing off free agency, we're all ecstatic about it. It was like, this is the guy. Like the way he kind of matured Mike Evans, brought him up, stuff like that. Ultimate professional. I always saw his stuff on like Instagram, him around the community, stuff like that. Even some of our friends had like pictures of him like at Lightning games and stuff like that. So sad to see him go. Way too young, way too young. A guy that you want almost every professional to be like professional on the field and off the field. A guy that's going to be sorely missed. I don't think people really understand how much he really did around here. And you didn't hear there's no strikes on him or anything. He's just a very nice guy, professional. Well, what about you?
Yeah, I mean, we were talking about it, before the podcast, and I remember that day when we signed him to that big contract, and it was like breaking news right at 4:00 when free agency started. You signed him to a 5-year, $55 million deal. They did that in, respect to Josh Freeman. And, he was the big free agent, and he was just a tremendous player on the field, but he did so much more off the field. And you hear the stories today, just people talking about him. It was mainly, what he did off the field. And that just shows you the character, the ultimate professional, like you said he was. And yeah, he's going to be missed because, this Tampa Bay area, we lost a leader today, and it's just very sad. And my prayers and thoughts, all of our, Bucks Nation, give our support to, his family and friends close, just hope they, we're thinking about them during this time.
Yeah, just sad moment. But yeah, take a moment, think about Vincent Jackson, not just as a Buccaneer, but as a person, and probably the stuff he was going through. Because no one knows what it is, the exact cause of death or anything like that. They're going to be looking into it. But again, sad day for Buccaneer fans and just V-Jack's family and everything. But with that, let's jump into some other Buccaneer news. So there's a lot to talk about. A lot of things have been said since we last talked. Yeah, we all talked the last live stream about how amazing it was. Bucks win the Super Bowl. We went over everything. Hope you guys saw some of the film studies after the game. Awesome. A lot of credit to the running game, opening stuff up. It was literally not necessarily easy, but it came easier for Tom Brady because of that. And I love how we actually could execute like that during the Super Bowl. But now comes what? The looming draft and free agency. So our draft content is going to come very, very soon. Be prepared for that. But let's talk about what the Bucks defense is, because that's going to be the biggest decision makers. Like, what's Shaq Barrett going to do? Are we signing him? Are we not signing him? Levante David, what's going on with that?
Right.
And a lot of Bucks fans, Bucks Twitter guys, all this stuff. It's like being GM thinking, oh, we can sign everyone. Or then you have people saying, oh, just let this guy walk. Trash.
Yeah, it's the beauty of the offseason. The offseason has officially begun for, the Buccaneers. And, we had a nice week of celebration, but now it's time to get to business. And, it's a year-round thing. So you always have to be on, not only what's going on this year, but you have to look into, future years as well. But yeah, I mean, when you look at this defense, and we have a lot of big free agents, like you said, on defense, the defense is run through the middle. That's where our defense flows. So that's why Vita Vea is so important. We all know that. And it's very important that you have a strong, middle presence, whether it be Vita Vea, then you have, Levante David, Devin White, Antoine Winfield. Those are your middle key, players right there. That makes the defense go. It's all about getting that pressure up front. That way your edges, JPP, Shaq Barrett, they can work off of that, inside pressure and get sacks. I mean, we talked about how Shaq Barrett just benefits very much so, and so does JPP off of Vita Vea. But that's really the defense. And when you're looking at it in that sense, then yeah, you want to bring back guys like Levante David and maybe Ndamukong Suh if he doesn't, retire. But those would be your priority free agents over a said Shaq Barrett or, others.
Yeah, so I think some Buck fans may be like, "What? Really? Let an edge rusher go?" I mean, we're saying this: if the money's there to work for a team contract, I mean, you don't want to be in the same situation, or some of these guys are going to cap hell like the Buccaneers did right after the Super Bowl last time they won it. Let's not recreate that same crap show.
Mhm.
I tempered myself there. But let's think about it. So some people were mentioning JJ Watt in there. Farouk Kawab, I see you. But I mean, the thing is, to me, let's go back to when we first hired Bruce Arians. We got Todd Bowles' defense. If you guys were part of the podcast, we brought in Jess Root, who's a guy that follows the Arizona Cardinals. What was it?
Mhm.
Rise Up, See Red. This is
Yeah, right. Rise Up, See Red. Yeah, it's a great podcast.
yeah, and they made or he told us literally they build it all through the middle. That's why we're telling you what's going to happen. What happened with our defense? Everything is driven up the middle. The A gap blitzes are there for a reason. It's the fastest point, straight line, and like you say, the edge benefits from the middle of the defense. What is the highest priority in our eyes? Middle of the defense. Devin White, Levante David, Vita Vea, Antoine Winfield, everything in the middle. Shaq Barrett is a great player. Yes, so is JPP. But Shaq Barrett, if he's asking 19 million, I can't. I mean, because the thing is, all that middle pressure is going to cause the edge rushers to get better sacks, better opportunities for sacks. So, in my opinion, if Shaq Barrett's going to say like he posted out there or made a comment, they're going to have to bring up the Brinks trucks or break the bank or something like that. He said, I don't know. I wouldn't break the bank too much for him. 15, 16 like he got this year. Okay. But to me, 19, 20, he's not Khalil Mack. That's just my 2 cents. What is your take on that?
No, I agree with that. I wouldn't overspend. Again, they can get creative with their contract structuring. I mean, that's the only way I can see maybe they go closer to that kind of market of, 18, 19 million. You could do something like, make his cap hit like 7, 8 million this year. And maybe it's more, closer to that 18 million next year where you have more money. But yeah, I mean, it just depends on what their plan is. I would prioritize, make sure you have Levante back for sure. He's definitely needs to be back in the building. He's a big key for Devin White and how well Devin White plays. And then also, I prioritize. I can't speak. I would prioritize Ndamukong Suh. Because if he wants to come back, I feel like he's a good player still. He's still playing at a very high level. I would try to bring him back for, a reasonable contract. I think he would get maybe a one-year deal for 6 million or so, something like that, a little less than 8 million.
Yeah, so we brought it up on the screen now. Shaq last year, 15.8 million, Levante 10 million. If we can get Levante back at 10 million a year, I'm 100% down for that. Like breaking it down this way, Rob Gronkowski, I don't see him wanting 9 million again.
No.
I mean,
I would say five for Gronk, about that range.
5, 6. I mean, what Cam Brate got last year, 6.5.
Mm-hmm.
I'd probably say is normal because he's not the number 1 option. He's not number 2 option. Hell, he may be number 3 or less. So I see that number dropping. Sue, I still think that's going to be a little high, but he commands it. I don't know how he works this in the contract, but he does. Money's probably gone. Joe Haig, so this is the thing. We have money to spend. It's just guys like Chris Godwin, who are a free agent who got paid diddly poo over here. They're going to need that massive increase. And that's what people are saying. Like, we're going to franchise Chris Godwin. What are we going to do? Because deserves his money, 25 years old, wide receiver, could be easily a number 1 in any other team. But because of Mike Evans, he's sitting at number 2. So before we jump on that, actually, we answer a couple things in the chat. The baby's doing awesome. He gained 2 pounds since his last checkup. He's been eating good. He's milk drunk all the time. That Jeff Goodrich, awesome. And then some people mentioning JPP at 19 million, no way for Shaq. Yeah, so just I guess touch more on Chris Godwin and he deserves. And do you think?
Yeah, I see. A lot of people saying he's going to get the franchise tag. I think that's definitely a possibility. You could franchise tag him for it'd be a little over 16 million. I mean, that's an option. I think they will look at because you want to make sure Godwin's going to be that consistent player for you. He kind of had little ups and downs this past year with injuries and stuff, but it might just make sense, to franchise tag him right now. And then you can give him that long-term deal, the following offseason. But with Shaq, I mean, it's interesting. Yeah. I mean, I agree with you, Raymond. They do have the money to push it down the can, push it down the road and, get everyone back if they want to. It just depends on, how they want to proceed because they really haven't done this in the past. They really set up their contracts well, so they don't have a lot of dead cap space, like the Saints are dealing with right now, because they're over the cap because they've been doing this for the last 4 years. They've been pushing contracts down to the next year to keep everyone and try to win a championship. And unfortunately, they couldn't get it done. So, better luck next year, I guess. But I mean, so it's really in the Bucks' court. I mean, they can, if it's me, I would try to bring back, the priority players, Shaq Barrett, Ndamukong Suh, David, Godwin, Gronk, all those guys. I would try to get them back in the building because this is your time. It's your time to win now, and I think you should go for it. So don't worry about the future coming up. Spend your money, go for that championship. That's how I would do it.
I agree in a sense.
Mm-hmm. And use your draft, use your draft for the future, set up your picks that way and have depth and guys that can come in and potentially start.
Oh, I'm always going to be strong in draft. I mean, we always, you're going to see a lot of draft content out of us coming really shortly. So be prepared for that. But to me, so a lot of people in here, yes, trade OJ Howard. OJ going to get traded for picks. Do you think Bucks should trade OJ?
No.
I'm going to immediately say no. And
yeah. I mean, as long as OJ's healthy, I think he'll be back again. He's in his last year of his contract, so I understand that. Same thing with Ronald Jones. I mean, do you trade to Ronald Jones? So
that's the point I want to make. So usually trading, let's think of it in a stock. OJ Howard stock, how low do you think it is right now? Coming off an Achilles injury.
It's pretty low, yeah, for sure.
Bottom of the barrel. How high do you think Ronald Jones's is?
It's above average for sure. Almost had 1,000 yards and played pretty well.
So who do you think would garner more picks or more return?
I don't know. It's interesting because tight end, with OJ's, physical ability, he might actually get
almost every year.
That's true. He is injury prone. And you could kind of say the same with Rojo a little bit, but
I think it's more just never getting the ball. And then now,
I mean, I think they would probably garner the same value. I would say a 4th to 5th round pick. I think you could get in return.
To me, you keep Howard. He's got a player friendly contract or team friendly contract. What can he and Gronk do together? I mean, Cam Brate, someone said it earlier that he deserves probably better. I mean, he's not going to get the same amount of targets that you can get anywhere else. I mean, and plus 6.5 for a third string tight end. Come on. Structures, he really wants to be a part of this team. Or he goes on, makes money, and has a better numbers career because he deserves it. So it's his choice, honestly, but we'll see. Thank you, Jeff.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Man, dinner on me. Did we draft a quarterback? Oh my gosh. Okay.
Oh man. Well, let's should we finish this debate first, or we got to move to quarterback?
we'll jump on just because. Hey, he put the $4.99 down on the plate. He put dinner on the table.
That's true.
We have to address it. So let me actually, Jeff. Good point. Good question. Let me bring it on over to here. So I don't know why people are actually thinking this is a serious thing. Who replaces Tom Brady? Buccaneers GM eyes Blaine Gabbert as possible successor. Who in the hell thinks that's true?
I mean, it's not.
In the chat, please answer if you think this is true. For me, and then we'll talk about drafting a quarterback.
Yeah, I mean,
are you distraught about what he just said here? He is one guy. My scouts and I talk about. He's just one guy that I love to watch throw every day in practice because he's got a cannon. That's why he's going to be our future quarterback. Very accurate, very much stretching the truth there with his throws, and can just really whistle them in tight windows. I don't care how hard he can throw a ball. Jameis could throw a ball harder than anyone. Did he make the smartest decisions during the game? No. Do I think Gabbert can do that? Far stretch yet again. So
yeah, I agree with Jack Barrett. I mean, this says it. I mean, that's pretty much what it is.
to re-sign him as a backup QB, GM speak. Yes, I agree with that. But some people are actually entertaining the fact that Blaine Gabbert is going to be our number one. That's the successor to Tom Brady.
Well, he was a 10th overall pick, first round.
More L's behind that well.
Yeah. Jacksonville Jaguars,
Now think about who just drafted. Okay. No on Gabbert. Thank you, but
yeah, 13 and 35 as a starter. That says it.
Ouch. Robert Green, Outside Leverage live stream. Guys, check him out. Robert Green, very, very intelligent Buccaneer fan. Buccaneer, just obsessive. Check him out if you haven't checked him out yet. But let's keep going on to his actual question. Do we draft a quarterback? What do you think?
This year, I think it's definitely a possibility. It just depends on who's available. I mean, when you're looking at the quarterback class, a lot of them are going to go early in the first round. You're sitting there at 32. I mean, maybe if someone falls, but if anything, I think you're hoping someone does, and then you try to trade down with that said team. You get a lot of picks for future resources, especially if you can get a first round pick for next year. I think that would be the way to go. And I think, once we get into draft talk, that's something I'll bring up, as far as trading down. I think it's a very real possibility, especially at 32. But quarterback, I think it definitely is something they'll look at. I like Kellen Mond for day 3. We talked about him before. Kyle Trask, I know is interesting, but I'm just as far as round 1, I'm not sure they'll get any of the top prospects.
I mean, and I don't want them trading up to try and reach for one. Don't pull the Green Bay Packers.
Right.
I mean, you're still going to be looking for now and the future. I mean, every pick should be that way. It's not just, we're going to think 5 years. What? What you do for me now? Not for long, right? That's what NFL stands for.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
Predict what the future is going to be. You got to be able to win and produce immediately. That's what Tom Brady does best. So once he's gone, what are you going to be? You're going to empty cabinet there? I mean, you got to have something there. I think you do draft one. Will it be first round? We'll see. I mean, that's why this is a good thing of being at 32. You can see how the cards fall. And if it's a little bit up, just a couple picks, okay, great. If someone really is giving you the whole damn lot of a wagon of a glutton of picks, I'm going to take that over. Oh, this could be my guy. I want it to be a for sure thing. And I don't know how Jason Light is at drafting quarterbacks, because I mean, last time he did it, it was with Lovey. So I don't know. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah. I mean, my thing is, if you can trade down, you get extra picks, you can have resources for next year to really go after a quarterback, especially next year if your team is solidified, like you think you can this offseason with bringing back certain players, you don't have many holes. I think you can go into next year and really look at wherever you're drafting, you can look at a possibility of trading up and getting, the quarterback that you really, really love. So, I mean, that's an option. But yeah, I mean, just looking at, the free agents, like we talked before, obviously prioritizing, Levante David, I think is number 1. And then Chris Godwin, Shaq Barrett, and Dominican Sue, et cetera, down the road. And we talked about as far as you can make room, to bring everyone back if you want to. It just depends on how you want to structure your cap and contracts. And there's plenty of possibilities to restructure deals like Donovan Smith, Ryan Jensen, Tom Brady, is probably going to get an extension somehow to help this team. Mike Evans already came out and said he wants to, take less or, restructure his deal so he can create more cap space. So that's a good thing. So you have guys that are willing to do that. That should help your team. But yeah, I mean, a lot of great questions here in the chat.
Here's one I kind of see. Is Brate cut candidate? I would think instead of trading OJ, why don't you trade Brate? You had a good playoff. I mean,
I think that's a possibility. I think Brate's going to be someone you look at. Same thing with, maybe a Ronald Jones that we talked about earlier. Yeah, start Hudson. I like that.
I think that's just more. I mean, I love Cameron Brate. I mean, every Buccaneer loves Cameron Brate. And then Farouk Awad can't cut Brate after that Lombardi catch.
That's true.
I love it. I mean, I love him as a player. He's literally grown up here. The thing is, he will return more, I think. He will give you more in a return for a trade. And does he deserve more catches? Yeah, but it's just he's just not going to get it here. And we can't have 3 or 4 tight ends that deep. And then you have his twin in Tanner Hudson. It's just a smarter business move to get the younger player. It's almost like Tom Brady was saying in the Patriots. Like they knew this is an outlier. He's 43 years old. Holy crap. He's going to fall off the cliff one of these days. We got to look to the future. I mean,
yeah. I'm
not saying Cam Brate's an old man. I'm just saying, I mean, we got the young guy right there. We have an opportunity to trade a guy. I would think that'd be your move. But that's my 2 cents. So let me go over here actually back to the actual roster of who we're going to sign back. 2 guys I think that we should or will let go, Leonard Fournette and Antonio Brown. Am I wrong or am I right?
No, I think you're right. I think, those guys are probably going to be gone. I can see guys like, Nunez Roches, Anthony Auclair, the ones there, towards the bottom, all those guys I think will probably in some fashion come back. Obviously Ryan Suckup, that's a big
franchise tag.
Yeah, we got to get him back. So, Ross Cockrell's another one I think that can return. All those guys will probably be signed. Again, those are, ERFAs and all those guys, they'll be signed back for relatively cheap. So you expect them to be back. Yeah, Robert Green's talking about Ronald Jones is too good to trade. I mean, he is good, but I'm just not sure about the ultimate fit for this offense. I mean, you want to see him become a complete back, and it just hasn't really taken place. He's just not natural with catching the football. He struggles at times in pass protection. Great runner as far as inside and out. He can make things happen, but just don't know if they want to do that where it's, they know that he doesn't really offer much on, passing situations.
I don't understand what a running back is too good to trade. I mean, to me, the way they take a
you can find running backs every year.
I mean, you can literally see sneak. Exact same thing Rojo's trajectory went. First year, terrible. Well, actually, Vaughn's is night and day different from Rojo's. And then second year, better. Third year could be breakout. Similar trajectory. So, I mean, too good? I don't necessarily think that. I mean, I think he's a really good running back. We've been on the Rojo train for a while. But to me, it's just like you just said. Is he a natural catching the ball? No. I mean, is he a guy that, you trade him away, our offense is down in the dumps? Hell no. So, yes, he's a really good runner between the tackles, getting to the outside. He can do just about anything, but just to me, I don't see him as too good to trade at all. I think if someone's saying here's a second for him, I run to that phone and pick it up. But I mean, that's just me. And I look more to the draft and getting running backs that way. And if you can run back with a Rojo and Vaughn or Fournette because we get rid of Rojo, that's another thing. Fournette saying, if I get more carries, that's what Jenna Lane kind of posted out. If Fournette gets more carries, he doesn't want to split the carries with Rojo. I'd rather have Rojo over Fournette right now. I don't care if Fournette's got the better Super Bowl numbers. Fournette was great in the playoffs, don't get me wrong. During the regular season, I guess a lot of people forgot how he performed. So, I mean, would I love to have him back? Yes. Is he going to want to split carries? It sounds like no. Is he going to get more than that $2 million elsewhere? Hell yes. I mean,
and that's another thing with Rojo. I mean, he's up for a contract next year. I mean, and do you want to, invest in Rojo for more money? Like it, because once he gets on the market, he's probably going to get demand, at least 5, 6, 7 million, around those numbers. And running backs don't usually get, you just don't pay running backs like that. That is true. That is a great point. I mean, wherever Bill O'Brien is, I think he's coaching in college now, but yeah, I mean, it's just, you just don't want to pay running backs. And we did it before with Doug Martin. And I know Jason Light probably not going to want to do that again. So, I mean, unless Rojo comes back for a reasonable contract, it's less than like $3 million, then sure. But, usually that doesn't happen. Usually running backs in their second contract, they try to maximize because they don't get paid. We haven't seen, the great running backs, unless you're like, Le'Veon Bell, where you can just, get 16 million from the Jets, but
How's he done since?
right, exactly. So I'm just saying, like, running backs usually try to maximize that deal because they don't get paid a lot as other positions.
Well, Kamara's going to want that, right? He
Mhm.
hasn't signed his contract yet, right?
Right. He's going to demand a deal. So
Whoop! I mean, what Christian McCaffrey? What is he getting?
he's getting paid pretty good. I think he's getting around 16 mil or something like that.
Yeah, CMC, best there is. Dude's insane. Dude is
Mhm.
insane. So, I mean, that's just us talking running backs. We don't value the running back that high. We're one that always says don't draft a running back the first round. Just don't do it.
It might happen this year.
That's like saying that Roberto Aguayo was the highest second round pick in the world.
Yeah.
Borderline. I mean, yes, Light will vividly tell you I made a big ass mistake. But hey, I just don't agree with that unless it's bottom of the first round. And you don't really have a need. I mean, we don't really draft based off of need either way. Best player available, if it's there, do it. I mean, OJ Howard is the best player available.
Well, when I look at this team, and the position to upgrade, and the obvious one that sticks out to mind is running back. I mean, that's a position that you want to see us have a guy that can do everything and do it well, and really make an impact where you don't have to take him off the field, and Tom Brady can throw him the ball or you can hand it off to him, and just have that consistent guy. And if a guy like Najee Harris or Travis Etienne or Javonte Williams is potentially there, then yeah, I could see it happening. And
First round?
yeah, first round for sure. Yeah, yeah, possibly, or even trading back into the second round. Getting more picks and then taking a running back there, because that's another thing you have to remember. We're 32, 64, etc. So we have to wait a long time, in between picks. And so if you really love a guy and you think, okay, he's fringe first rounder, second rounder, then yeah, maybe you do take him at 32.
Hey, in due time, it's coming up fast. I mean, we're not used to the crap of going this deep into the playoffs, winning a Super Bowl, and then the draft is like 2 months away. It's just insane. We got a lot of work to do. Be fun, guys. Enjoy it. But let's keep going on. So talk about Antonio Brown. I mean, do you think we bring Antonio Brown back or no?
Again, I mean, it depends on
0.6 million.
I mean, it just depends on what he wants as far as contract. I know he probably wants to be back, but I don't really see a need to bring him back because I like what we have, and Scotty Miller, Tyler Johnson, and we'll probably draft a receiver, I'm sure, this year again. Jason Light usually does that, so I mean, I don't see it right now, but it's definitely not out of the question.
Robert Green doesn't like it at all.
Yeah, Robert Green wants he wants defensive linemen, and more defensive linemen, and I agree. I'm fine with that.
Yeah. Okay. So this is my take. Okay. So the running back position, a little bit different than wide receiver position. We have way too many good wide receivers. I mean, yes, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, we had the situations where they got hurt. Both of them did. Damn near almost, we thought we lost Mike Evans for the whole playoff run. Luckily, he didn't. Still can't believe he played every game after that. But the thing is, if you sign back Antonio Brown, okay, you're waiting for him to be the third receiver in this monster of receiver glutton of that we have, and you're slowing down Scotty Mills' progression, Tyler Johnson's progression, and you're holding other people back when really Antonio Brown is still, when he was actually healthy playing with other teams, with the Steelers, one of the best wide receivers in the league. Let him get his money. He's going to want to do it. And do you risk trying to keep him under wraps again? I don't know. I honestly think, like, to me, I was like hoping to stay, just don't mess up, don't get in trouble again. I mean, that to me, honestly, that's how I felt. But I don't see him taking 1.6 million again, especially with Chris Godwin's contract he's going to get. Just let him go. Let Scotty become that number 3, and let's go, baby. That's my chance.
Yeah, no, I agree with that, and and this is a good point by Robert Green. He says, you can get comp picks as well. So that's that's something to think about. Same thing with like Shaq Barrett. Shaq Barrett leaves. You can get comp picks the next year. So
I don't think we're gonna get much for Brown though. He came.
Probably not. It's all based on, how many people you sign and, what other people sign for. So, but I think he's down at the bottom as far as priority. Antonio. They want Chris back for sure. Chris is only 25 years old. He's a stud receiver. They want to bring him back, and you have Scotty Miller who can do just about anything. Tyler Johnson, same thing. They're trying to mold him more and get him more developed. So I like our receiver room.
Yeah, so TB12 GOAT, man. Brady wants AB. That's all that matters. Well, hey, if he wants him that much, Brady can say, you know what, take another 1.6. If he does again, okay. But I still think it's delaying Scotty Miller's progression and Tyler Johnson. I like those two a lot. They have key roles. AB can do a crap ton of things. He deserves to get paid for it. And I don't know if, again, I already made my points.
Yeah.
Let's keep going on. Let's see. So a lot of people are talking the JJ Watt talk. They're talking. Yeah, here we go. Buck sign JJ Watt if lose Shaq, Barrett, or Sue. So, I mean, that's looking forward to free agents we could sign. Obviously, that was probably the biggest name that you in free agency. Do you want to talk about this or finish talking about our team first?
No, I mean, we can touch on JJ. I mean, JJ is probably not going to sign until teams know exactly what the salary cap's going to be. So I think they're just waiting on that, to get the actual final number. And then, teams will start, calling it and negotiating with him. I know there's already been rumors that there's a lot of interest for sure. And I mean, he's a great player. So, I mean, JJ would be a nice addition for sure. It just depends on the price. I know the Bucs are probably going to want to focus on bringing back their guys first and then see what, they can do as far as other players, but you might have to, push forward if the interest, gets serious. Maybe the Bucs, dive in and see what they can, manage, but we'll just have to wait and see. Again, I would love the addition. He's a great player.
Oh, I second that. I mean, JJ Watt, not only on the field, but community wise, just he's bigger than just a player. Like if we need any more giant personalities that are good people on the defense,
right?
It's just crazy. I mean, again, but numbers wise, what will he demand? What does he really want to just win a championship, or does he want money as well? Does he want like what Shaq Barrett's wanting?
Yeah.
Or does he want what like AB gave us?
Yeah.
It's all up in the air. I mean, Jason Light has a big job ahead of him. But then again, this is a team that just won the Super Bowl 31-9 against the defending champions that went, 14-2 during the regular season. Probably could 15-1.
Yep.
And we just made them look like a joke. Or not a joke, but we kind of walked all over them. Whether it be because of flags or lack of offensive line, get out of here. I mean, either way, we won convincingly. Whether you did get a couple first downs or didn't allow a first down, we still win by at least 2 scores. Let's be honest. Let's keep going on. So, got to keep in mind no state income tax.
Yeah, that's key.
But I mean, any more takes on JJ Watt? No thanks.
No, I mean it's just it's early. I mean we have to wait and see. But I think the focus really for the Bucs is they're going to try to bring back who's on their roster right now. They're going to focus on signing their own guys, seeing how many guys they can keep. Again, there's only 31 guys under contract right now, so they got to make some hay here and bring a lot of people back. Whoever they can.
Whoa, I didn't even know he was a free agent. So Farouk Kawab, I always like getting his takes in here. Possible we bring back GMC if the price is low. Is he free agent now? Only signed a 1-year deal?
I think he is a free agent. Yeah, the Cowboys actually cut him, I believe.
Oof.
And he's been rehabbing, so it's possible. I wouldn't mind it. Again,
on the low.
They let him go for a reason. So
another injury prone guy though.
Yeah.
Oh, and
I'd rather go with JJ Watt. I mean, JJ Watt was actually extremely productive last year. He played in all 16 games, and he's a guy that can play inside or outside in this defense. I think he could play the 5 tech if you need him there, or he can, stand up and rush, that way. I know some people said he can't, but he can do it.
If we have Anthony Nelson doing that, I'm pretty sure JJ Watt.
Yeah, he's athletic enough.
Just saying, he's far more athletic than Anthony Nelson.
Right.
Or here was it? Where was it? I lost it. Oh, well, Buck Skull Gang in the house said, "What though? AP talk."
Adrian Peterson. I don't see AP happening again. He's been trying to get on the Bucks for years for whatever reason. It's just not going to happen. I feel bad for the guy. It's like it's his dream, but it's not coming true.
Oh, Bucks Report in the chat. Shout out to Best in the Business, RBT.
I appreciate Bucks Report. Big shout out to Bucks Report. They're awesome. They promote a lot of our stuff and our work, and very much appreciative. So trying to shout you guys out more.
Yeah, we have been on the low with that too.
Yeah.
Bucks Report. Check us out over there as well.
Yeah.
Let's talk about, I saw it earlier in the chat. You know what? Let's finish our talk. So let's go over here to our free agents. Who else do you think walks? Who do you think is crucial to bring back? I mean, I know we talked to AP.
Yeah. We talked to big guys. I think, a lot of the guys down the list are really, you can bring them back for, minimum. So I see a lot of those guys coming back, just as depth. And plus, if you have, more OTAs, off-season workouts, training camp, you're going to need bodies. So, you have to get up to 90 players. So I think a lot of those guys will be back on the low. I don't see anyone really making big contract demands out of that group.
Standing over there.
Yep.
Yeah. So this is one other thing I want to touch on before we move on to free agents and more draft talk.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the big talk as well is, in 2022, the Bucks are loaded. They got so much cap room. The GM's making great moves. So let's look forward. What does 2022 have to offer? Let's see if this thing is going to say anything. I hate these ads. But okay, so of 5 players is $65 million.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, you're going to have a lot of cap room if Tom Brady's free agent, Donovan Smith, Jason Pierre-Paul, Ryan Jensen, and William Golson. Like right there is like $65 million. So yeah, you're looking pretty if your number one quarterback, your number one left tackle, your number one right edge rusher, your number one center, and you're probably and Vita Vea is out there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know how much he's commanded. They don't even know. So you're all going to get either increases. Tom Brady may take the least because he just wants to win again, if he even wants to play again.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Vita Vea is a club option. That's why they don't have.
Oh, okay.
So we'll bring him back.
That club's taking that option. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Still, like, look at all the money that's going away that you're still going to have to re-sign. Do they take even less? We'll see. We'll see. I mean, Jason Pierre-Paul probably wouldn't garner that much. Well, I mean, it's still in the future, but it's just more everyone's talking about it, and this is it. It's a lot of money going up that they're going to have to re-sign. That's the only reason why I kind of brought that up.
And a lot of those guys, they might, go this offseason and say, hey, let's do an extension, to save money that way. So that's definitely a possibility for sure.
Yeah, OJ, Ronald Jones, Carlton Davis, those are guys, even Alex Kappa, Jordan Whitehead. Look at all these starters that we're going to have to re-sign.
Mm-hmm.
And Robert Greene would say, bring up the Brink truck for Ronald Jones right now. I mean, if OJ goes off because it's a contract year, he's going to want more than $2.7 million. Cameron Brake made 6.5 as a third string tight end.
Yeah.
That's going to go up. This is going up. Do we pay a running back? I don't know. Carlton Davis is a number one corner. Bruce Arians has been saying it. He's been talking him up. He's going to command way more than that. It's going to be 8, 9, if not 10, $12 million.
Right.
So don't tell me, we're sitting pretty, but yeah, because of great players that aren't getting paid.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see when that time comes. Either way, we're looking for another playoff push, deep playoff push. And yeah, spend money now, but also look at your future because you got guys to sign back. I don't think anyone the guys for the future as well.
Yeah, I for sure they're going to be smart about it. They're not going to lose their process. They're going to stay within, what they have been doing, but they're probably going to modify it a bit, because again, you're in a window where this is your time. You have your team ready, you have your core in its prime. You have a quarterback that is, trying to make history every year.
Yeah.
It's time to win now. And so if you have the resources, the options, and you have things that are available to you, you got to take advantage of that and go put together the best roster you can. And I think the Bucs will do that for sure. I mean, they already have a talented roster with just 31 players on it. And now you're adding, hopefully bringing back, who you want to bring back, to make that offense, defense, special teams even better in 2021 for sure.
Yeah. I mean, I want to take one moment again to just realize what Tom Brady has been for the Bucs in his 1 year, but also what he's done for his whole entire career. I mean, we all have been Tom Brady, damn man, just wins too much. I hate him. Everyone has said that. That isn't a Boston fan. That isn't a Patriot fan. The dude comes here 1 year and does it.
Yeah.
He does it 2 in a row. I don't give a crap what anyone says. Even Charles Barkley said that Tom Brady he literally beat MJ. None. And I agree. I mean, this dude, someone tried to tell me, oh, LeBron's better. What? Are we talking about who can dunk better, who looks better athletically? Yeah, LeBron.
Yeah.
But team-wise, it's kind of hard to say Tom Brady's controlling what the defense does too. He's just not sitting. Like, look, he just made the perfect example for anyone. Jameis, look what he did. Look what Tom Brady did with the same. Oh, forgive me. He brought some guys over. Everyone that scored a touchdown was on the Buccaneers last year too. I get it. But we went all the way damn there and won convincingly.
Yeah. I mean,
it's crazy to me. I still don't.
Yeah. I mean, I put a tweet out there and I'm sure everyone's seen it. The Bucs were just the best team. They were the best team in the NFL. They had the best roster. And regardless of injuries, if the Bucs were at full strength throughout the whole season, they would have probably went 14, 15-1. I can say that confidently. You give me OJ Howard throughout the whole year. You give me Vita Vea through the whole year. Defense doesn't drop off. Offense probably gets even more scarier and better. So yeah, there is no argument there. The Bucs won fair and square. Yeah, Packers had injuries, Saints had injuries, whatever. We won the game. Chiefs, their offensive line, even at full strength, would have struggled. We beat them up in that Week 12 matchup, and we would have beat them again, and as we did in this matchup, regardless. So there is no excuses. It's the NFL. Next man up.
Were they full health that first game, Week 12?
Pretty much. I mean, they had their starting offense line in there. They didn't have Sammy Watkins, but I mean, yeah, right. So
but he was there in the Super Bowl,
right? Yeah.
So don't give me no.
Again, there's going to be excuses. People just they're mad they lost. I mean, that's it. Bucs won, better team.
14-2, 15-1. I'm looking for that next year. Like it's going to be insane. Another year to get better.
Yeah. I think you look at this team. Yeah, they definitely can be at least 12-4 at the minimum.
I mean, look at the way Jason Light's drafting. If he gets another 2 random guys that can contribute in some way, Tyler Johnson contributed huge during the playoffs. He was what, a 5th round pick? Jeez.
Yeah.
Come on. I mean, let's see how much more production can we get from like these random picks and give Jason Light credit too. I mean, they both deserve so much credit. And Tom Brady wouldn't be here unless BA was here, and Jason Light wouldn't be here, or BA would be here unless Jason Light was here either. So crazy. Let's keep going. Let's see what some people in the chat going on. People are asking about David or Wagner. Rob Dunlap. Who would you take right now? Levante David or Bobby Wagner?
It's Levante David. Wagner can stay over on the West Coast.
He's a hell of a player, though. I'll give him that.
Yeah, he is.
I'm not going to talk about Jameis. I can't. Last Sunday, just Jameis is gone. We're not bringing him back. We don't likely want to bring him back.
He's going to start for the Saints this coming year, so good luck to him.
Yeah, good luck with Devin White coming after you.
Yep.
We should uptick the postseason. Let's see. Much easier schedule next year as well.
That's true.
I think either way, no matter what, another year of this offense to learn. I think I said it in the last live stream. The offense will be able to carry the defense this time. Think about that.
Yeah.
That's crazy. And the defense literally carried us nonstop, especially during the playoffs.
Mhm.
I know y'all to give me. Oh, here comes the talk. Let David walk. We have his replacement in the building, and he can't pay everyone. Save money there. Who's his replacement? Devin White?
You talking about Devin White? I mean, we need two.
Me too. TB12 Go. Who's the other replacement? Because Levante's huge for Devin White. I mean, they worked great in the tandem. That's a huge hole you're missing if
Yeah.
he leaves. Huge
And
hole in the middle.
and it's not easy to find a rookie linebacker that can come in and
We're talking Russell Shepard, or no? Forgive me. Chappelle
Kevin.
Russell, right?
Oh, well, he's got cut. I mean,
Oh my goodness,
yeah. So, I mean, you have Kevin Minter that you have to re-sign back. I mean,
that ain't it.
that ain't it. I mean, maybe you go LSU in the draft and you get Jabril Cox. Maybe bring him over. That would be the only linebacker I would go after in the draft. But because he's LSU, LSU wins. They're good linebackers.
Yeah, this is the biggest point. Like I agree fully with Raymond on this. Raymond, if you guys aren't listening to Raymond, you need to start listening right now. This dude's all. If you're not on Facebook too, chat it up with Raymond in Facebook in our Facebook group. You can find it probably down below in the description. Hopefully, Plus put it down there.
I think I did. I don't know.
He said, "Damn guys, they had no preseason, no offseason. They had to run BA's offense until they could adjust during the bye week. So they adjusted, and look what they turned into. Imagine a whole offseason of preparation work. TB12, Brady's already out there training. He's ready. He's looking for number 8.
Yeah. And then another good thing is like you have your offensive line coming back, all together. So you added more depth, obviously, with the raise of Aaron Stinney and how he played, and so you're going to have your starting group back. And maybe you make some additions there. Just have to wait and see. But that's huge. I mean, you have your starting 5 coming back. That's going to be a big, as far as the offense goes. And then, like you said, Tom Brady, he knows the system now. He knows how to run it. And, Byron Leftwich knows how to call it too. And so you're going to have the same personnel pretty much. That's a huge advantage.
I can't wait to see it. Can't wait to see it. Yeah, TB12 never answered who it is, who's the replacement, because I do not see who the replacement is. It's in the building.
Yeah, Levante can't be replaced. I mean, like people say in the chat. I mean, I think he's going to be brought back for sure. I don't. Not.
It's hard to even David gone. And so I mean, don't even just bring him back immediately.
Yeah, he's going to be back, and very important for this defense. So, yeah, but I mean, just to recap what we talked about so far. I mean, really, it's just prioritizing the big 3 as we, Godwin, David. I think Shaq, if it's the right price, don't want to overspend there. And then also, trying to bring back, Gronkowski, and then, maybe Ndamukong Suh if he decides he wants to, come back at a reasonable price. I just feel like he would be a good guy to bring back, because then in the draft, you can really draft, either interior defensive line or edge, and you can have still a very good core to help those guys succeed better in a limited role. They don't have to be the guys right away. I think that'd be very important, especially when you look at this class, the defensive edge class and the interior guys. A lot of them have a lot of great traits and skills, but they're not very developed. Like they're not, I would say a lot of them are not pro ready is what I'm trying to say. Like right now, a lot of them can't. I'm just looking at the overall class. Edge guys like, some of the guys we looked at already, like Ojulari and Asai and, Patrick Jones, guys like that. I think they have all the traits that you want, but they're just not there yet as far as being ready right away,
Oh, I agree with that. They're not well-rounded. They have traits. They have certain quick twitch abilities, but they don't have the full well-rounded, be able to hold up against a run or pass rush specific moves. It's just more raw talent, pretty much.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, so Raymond, as always, like this live stream or lose your stash. Mustache or the stash of cash you have behind you.
Appreciate it.
We're just printing money left and right. I don't know. But let's keep going. Where was this? So TV12 answered again. Answer me this. Lose Shaq or Godwin in a game that's built around getting after the passer and scoring points, or lose David. So let me ask
Well,
really quick.
yeah, you go ahead. Yep.
Lose Shaq or Godwin in a game that's built around getting after the passer and scoring points, or lose David. So to me, again, we mentioned this earlier in the chat, in the live stream. We're built at A-gap blitzes, built in the middle down the line. So you're talking Vita Vea, David White, Antoine Winfield. Everything in the middle is where you're going to produce havoc. And quickest point in between 2 points is a straight line, right? You don't want to go around the edge. You want to go straight through. That's why you saw so many A-gap blitzes from Levante David and Devin White. So I honestly think that's way bigger of a disadvantage if we get rid of him. First of all, the knowledge of the defense, helping portray the defensive play calls to everyone else. And then, okay, if you lose Shaq, okay, it does hurt. Don't get me wrong. You still have JPP on one side. Anthony Nelson showed something. And then if you can draft an edge rusher or get one of these veteran guys that are looking just to run for a ring, do it.
Yeah. One guy I'll throw out there. Yeah. One guy I throw out there is Oliver Vernon. I think that could be a potential addition, especially he's coming off of Achilles.
Yeah.
So that's some risk involved. I mean, hopefully he's 100%, but he's a guy that I think could be a cap casualty. He's let go by the Browns, and I think he could be signed for a reasonable contract. That's cap friendly. And he would be a perfect guy to bring in there. He has the athleticism, and he can get plenty of sacks with Vita Vea up the middle. So just throwing that out there. That's just a name, I've seen it tossed around.
Speaking of, that's think of that as a contract that Shaq Barrett could get. I mean, he got astronomical amount of money when he signed with them.
Yeah.
I just sometimes it's warranted to pay guys if they fit what you do defensively or your scheme or whatever it is. Same point as Gronkowski. He got that money with the Patriots because he literally was the guy. He's not the guy no more, so he shouldn't deserve that. Shaq is a great player, but is he the guy of this defense? No, he started benefiting, again, middle pressure. Vita Vea comes in, all hell breaks loose. Who do you pay more? I honestly think Vita Vea should, but maybe just because of the position, they shouldn't get paid just as much. This franchise tag stuff of averaging money, maybe should be different for schemes and stuff, but hey, what am I to say?
But I mean, on that point, I mean, I understand why you want to bring TB12 is talking about bringing back Shaq, but I mean, Levante is he's just more critical as far as the middle of the defense. And I recommend, like we talked about earlier, go, check out, just Google Jess Root and Real Bucks Talk. Google that in the search bar, look up that episode. You can watch it or listen to it. Just listen to how he talks about the defense, how it's revolved around Levante and Devin White and the middle. So it's just very important that we have guys like that. As far as Shaq, again, just depends on cost. I mean, how much you're willing to pay, for his kind of production. Again, he's very productive. He had a great year this year. But you just have to be smart in how you go about it as far as structure and contract.
I was thinking about this as well. We drafted a middle linebacker top 5. I think we value middle linebackers a little bit. I mean, I don't know. We'll see what we do in the draft with edge rushers and stuff. But Shaq, if he wants around something $20 million, I don't know. I just don't know. Yes, it's a pass rush league, but don't pigeonhole pass rush as in edge rushers. If you're pushing the middle of the offensive line back so much, the quarterback can't step up, giving more opportunity for the edge rushers. That's what inflates their numbers because the quarterback can't step up. They're going to walk into a sack. That is beneficial of an A-gap blitz. Defensive tackles like Vita Vea and Ndamukong Suh, it causes havoc to the rest of the defensive line or the offensive line. They have to help out the middle. Edge rushers get one-on-ones. Eat. That's how it works. Again, like I said, go look up Jess Root, Real Box Talk. It's a lot of good information. I thought it was one of our best interviews ever, Real Box Talk. But
yeah, for sure. But I mean, you're right. I mean, it's about getting that middle pressure, and that's why I'm so advocate on bringing in Ndamukong Suh back, because if you have those two guys in the middle and 4 offensive linemen on those two alone, you're going to get one-on-ones, and that's what Mark talked about, opportunities. But we'll just have to wait and see. Again, I love Shaq Barrett. I think we can both say that. We love him. I mean, he's a baller. I hope he's back. But again, I'm just saying, if we're going to lose somebody, then, that's going to that would be the odd man out.
I had to bring this up. I had this audio clip.
I'm balling.
He's balling. He's balling.
James made the clip. Okay. But hey, he did ball all season. He did a lot of edge rush pressures and quarterback pressures. But again, like I kind of said, if you can't step up, you're going to go somewhere. Easier path to the ball. Let me see. So a couple more before we head on out. A great ticket discount. Let's see. Levante is leader of our defense, like people were mentioning. The NFL tells you pass rushers are more important. They make more money than middle linebackers. Yeah. Again, but it's like I mentioned with the franchise tag. Plus, you know what? I'm not mad. It's just more.
Yeah.
Don't look at every team in a whole as the same.
Mm-hmm.
We're not a 4-3 defense. So just think of it that way. Could touch on it a little bit more.
Yeah, I mean, I understand what he's saying. Again, yeah, the market does play to pass rushers. It's a premium position. I mean, when you look at the draft, what do you draft? You draft quarterback, edge rusher, and then it's, left tackle. Or, you got to protect the passer and you have to find ways to get after the passer. That's the key to football. So, yeah, I mean, I understand the point. It could go either way. They have the ability to bring everyone back, like Raymond's saying here in the chat.
Yeah. Or
they can, continue to do what they've been doing and being smart with how they, manage their contracts and not overspend or overpay. We're going to have to wait and see. I want Shaq back as much as anybody, but again, just don't go over the top with it because it's not necessary.
I agree in all points. With that said, you know what? We hit the hour, guys. Thank you for all the questions, the topics, the opinions, everything. You guys brought it today. I love the packed house. If you haven't yet, hit that like button down below for us. Help us out. You've been commenting all over. We love it. The offseason begins, just like the title of the live stream. Thank you so much for joining us. We're going to bring out some draft content for you. Be ready for that. Stay tuned. And with that said, have a good night. Plus, send us off.
All right, guys. Yeah, everyone have a great night. Go Bucks. And we got draft stuff coming very soon, as Mark said. So until the next one, see you guys.